Welcome to Two Gents, where two seasoned gents take on the hard truths of life, success, and responsibility. In a world where the rules don't bend for us, these gents believe in doing the work, owning the struggle, and inspiring others to take action. So, pull up a chair.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Two Gents Podcast. Part of the crew is here. Me and Byron Glass sitting here, and I know A.F. Riggins is going to call in. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at him coming in right now. He's just a little bit late, Glass, but he's coming. He coming as soon as he gets his camera cut on. I'm going to bring him into the studio. So, Byron, tell us about your day, man.
Been a long day, Mr. Spike's been running. So we're going to let A.F. Riggins give us a taste of what it used to be like back 8-10 years ago. I got a chance to tune in a little bit today, AF, on Ron's podcast, and looked like somebody lit some fire up under Mr. Spike. So other than that, man, everything is going, good. I saw where they indicted the New Jersey Congresswoman. Everything that's going on in California is not a sight that I want to see here in the streets of America, but nevertheless, we are here. The only question I have is, who's next?
Pastor A.F. Riggins.
Hey, good. Glad to be on, guys. This show tonight, I might set some stuff on fire. This is my baby right now. This big beautiful bill. We're going to make sure that we address it and deal with it as much as we can. And we're glad to be on the show tonight.
I'm glad to have you here, Pastor. I just want to say something. Had an incident that happened earlier today. Went on a national media show on satellite radio called The Urban View. I don't know if either one of y'all had a chance to listen to it before.
Yeah, I've been on Urban. I've listened to Urban View several times.
Man, I got called a lie on national radio today. And I don't like that. But I'm a little bit different than everybody else. So I can come on here and I can kind of bag mine up just a little bit. And I did it earlier today. And the only thing I'm gonna say is this. You gotta open up your mind, because I'm gonna tell you this thing with Biden and Kamala Harris has a lot of different stuff that's connected to it. And I was gonna go another way, but I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna tell you that almost all these people writing books right now. And then we're gonna get into our show real quick. And I'm gonna give it to A.F. Riggins. I'm gonna pull his stuff up real quick, and I'm gonna let him get started, because I know he's fired up and ready to go.
He's doing it successfully.
His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years.
He is as sharp as ever, as I have known him to be in my engagement, in my experience.
He is strong. He is strong behind doors, and he's strong when he's in front of the camera.
He is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
Were they?
I want to say this, and then I'm gonna give it to A.F. Riggins, because I'm gonna pull his stuff up. But I just want to say this: if he was all those things, I guarantee you wouldn't have all these books coming out right now. All these people saying they all agreed, and I even did a show about the young lady. What's her name, Byron? The black girl.
The press secretary.
Yeah, his press secretary.
Yeah, what is it?
I even did a show. I was defending her because they was trying to throw her up under the bus for even writing a book. So I know I'm not that far off base. But anyway, I just want to let y'all know that I went on the national media. They treated me like everybody else, but they didn't know that y'all put the word in for me. Had the opportunity to come back and put out some receipts. So Pastor Riggins, here we go. I'm gonna add this to the stage, and I hope y'all can see it. This is what you sent me.
Yeah.
And I gotta get my mouse to go over there. And that's not our donate sign. I'm gonna tell y'all ahead of time. Okay, Pastor Riggins, can you see it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Tell me where you want to go.
Everyone, please. We're glad to be on tonight. Ron, you can scroll to it as you want to, but I'm just gonna talk off the top of my head, just my heart from the beginning.
You're gonna do away with my hard work that you see.
No, sir. No.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Sir.
All right,
No.
just go ahead. I'm gonna stroll through it, and then Pastor Riggins is gonna talk, and we're just gonna sit back and have a conversation about
Yes,
what's
sir,
going
yeah.
on.
See, every administration that comes in, usually they come in with having control of the House and the Senate, as Biden did the first 2 years in office. They then try to pass legislation. Obama did it before in 2008. Pass legislation that benefits their point of view or what they believe or their agenda, as we put it. Trump's agenda is driven by the Heritage Foundation. We know it as Project 2025. A lot of things that Trump wanted out of Project 2025 is in executive orders. However, they cannot stand up to the scrutiny of lawsuits and court litigation. And over time, if a new president comes in and reverses some of it. So what he tried to do in this big, beautiful bill, because you know how Trump always tries to put a bunch of adjectives around something, like he's the most stable genius, bigly, he does stuff bigly and all kind of stuff like that. This big, beautiful bill is supposed to encompass everything that they want to try to get done, wrapped up in one package, because they figured that in 2026, they're most probably going to lose the House and could lose the Senate. And then it's a stalemate at best, and a stalemate at worst, and at best, maybe we can get Trump impeached and put out, but that's a long shot. In this big, beautiful bill, so to speak, here shows two things that's the base of who Trump is and MAGA: classism and racism. Classism meaning that there's an ideal that America has survived or is thriving on the backs of the powerful and the rich, which we call capitalism. Whoever can make the most money can control what's going on in the government, in the economy, and so forth. So with that in mind, in 2017, when Trump had power of both houses, he was able to pass that tax cut for all the rich people. Had a big party at Mar-a-Lago after that. Those tax cuts are scheduled to expire in September, I think. So in this big, beautiful bill, Trump is trying to find ways to once again give billionaires, less than 1% of Americans, and in whatever group that he's in his wealth, tax cuts again. But the only way to give them tax cuts is going to add over $4 trillion to the debt, but also he's going to take from the middle class and the poor and give it to the rich. It's going to cut Medicaid, cut Social Security. I was talking to a friend of mine today that works for the post office, said he's scheduled to retire in 2 to 3 years, and the way it was set up, you can get your retirement and Social Security from the post office. Trump's trying to cut that out. Like from 57 to 62, and then at 62, he's supposed to be able to get some of it. He's trying to cut all that out. Okay? That's just part of it. Medicaid, a lot of rural hospitals, rural communities in the red states are going to suffer from what, even though they voted for Trump as part of MAGA, he don't care about them when it comes down to the money. He wants to get the money to himself and to all the rich people. But the hidden things that really going to hurt us are two things. Number one, Trump in this bill has a way that he tries to nullify the judicial system, in which he can defy court orders and not be found in contempt of court. Let me give you a civics lesson. I've taught American history since 1998 in various school years. Sometimes I taught Texas history, sometimes world cultures, world history, and sometimes American history. About 12 years of my 26 years in education was I taught American history. And even in Texas history, we teach this when we talk about the Constitution. Our government is based on 3 branches of government. And those 3 branches of government are the House and the Senate, which is called the Congress. the president and everything that goes with it. FBI, all the cabinet, CIA, Attorney General, and all that's called executive. And then the judicial branch, the Supreme Court, and the whole court system. Here's how it's supposed to work in the American government. The Congress makes the laws. The executive, which is the president, the Attorney General, and all of the law enforcement and the military and all that, enforces the laws. The courts interpret the laws. It's called checks and balances. When you pass a law in the Congress, the president can either sign into law or veto it. That's a check and balance. If a law is passed and we find it to be unconstitutional, guess who's the final referee? The court system. The Supreme Court says this law, just like Obamacare, the American Healthcare, what is American Healthcare Act? That's the real name of it. The court system found it to be what? The Supreme Court upheld it. Trump is trying to take away the power of the judicial system because Trump is lawless. Trump is lawless. How you know he's lawless? The man is convicted of 37 felonies. He is standing and been adjudicated against for rape of E. Jean Carroll, but it was taken into civil court on her $500 million for raping her. He's lawless. January 6th riots. He's lawless. So a lawless person don't want the law to be put into effect. He's supposed to be the one that's enforcing the law, but he's breaking the laws. And he don't want the referee to put him in check. So inside this big, beautiful bill are measures for him to defy the court system. Finally, and some people start to say, well, this part right here is not being verified. How many pages is that bill? 1,200-some pages. There are some portions of that bill that could give Trump a loophole to either hinder, deny, or try to stop or delay elections. Because in his mind,
hey, Pastor.
Yes.
I heard a congressman say that now, how many pages did you say that bill was?
1,200-some pages.
Yeah. So they give them 24 hours for their crew to go through it and review the bill, point out things, highlight everything, and get it back. And that's how they get to vote on it. 24 hours.
But that was intentional. That was intentional.
Right. Because see what happens is, how you don't even have enough staff to go read 1,200 pages in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, it passed 215 to 214 by one vote.
Mm-hmm.
By one vote. And what they're trying to do in the Senate is to do away with regular order, because regular order, they want you to get 60 votes. Why they want you to have 60 votes? So 60 votes can say you can stand up against what? A president's veto if he comes out to veto it, if he has to go override. Or, you see what I'm saying? They're trying to get it down to, can they get one vote in the Senate? Remember when they tried to do that with McCain? Mm-hmm. And McCain walked out there to try to stop Obamacare, had that thumb up and said, whoop! And to this day, Trump hates him, and the man laying in the grave went on to his reward. They're trying to get it to that. So they can try to use this bill, not only take away Social Security, take away Medicaid, take away SNAP benefits, take away Title I funding for schools, take away Title III funding for people with English as a second language, take away community resources, take away Head Start. Everything that the Project 2025 says to slash and cut and burn. And then take what they take away and give it to the rich in tax cuts. And meanwhile, Trump could defy courts to try to find a way to gerrymander or to rig elections through loopholes. this big, beautiful bill is called that by Trump because in his mind, this is how he wants to rule as king or tyrant or dictator of the United States of America. And we refuse. We refuse to let it go. Even on sight, and I'm gonna close on this. Lindsey Graham and McConnell said, nah, this can't fly like this. What's his name? Paul, his daddy is Paul.
Rand Paul.
A couple other people say this can't fly like this because they already see there's a setup that when they go back to their own communities, their rural communities, older Anglo-Americans gonna say, I can't get my medicine. I can't get my benefits because whether you want to believe it or not, African Americans are still only 15 to 17% of the country. Hispanics are outgrowing them. And when you start taking away benefits, you're going to cut off your nose and spite your face because more Anglo-Americans by numbers going to be hurt than African Americans. I'm going to let y'all talk. I'm going to come back in a minute.
No, sir. Riggins, keep teaching. That's the purpose, of tonight's show. We've, I think if mainstream media don't want to go at it chip by chip, I think Mr. Spikes and I are willing to sit back and let's continue to enlighten and inform. Because remember, the number one goal is to enlighten and inform. Others' number one goal is to distort the message and divide the people.
Yeah, I mean they're even talking about tips. See that? How they gonna tax tips? Qualified.
They're not going to tax. They're not going to tax tips.
Not going to tax tips, yeah.
But here's the deal: if they have another income coming in, they're going to tax them at the full rate. So just the tips are not going to be taxed. Don't think that he did you a favor.
Right. What he did is this. See, Trump placates to things on the surface that people like to little shiny objects. So a guy like him wines and dines all the time. He whining and dining. Sitting in the back of somebody's car, probably can't drive at all. Probably ain't drove in maybe 25, 30, 50 years. They take him up to a restaurant, and look at that pretty girl, and he talk, Lou, look how she look, da-da-da-da-da. Let me give her a $20 tip. You know, it'd be nice if we don't tax her tips. Don't you like that, sweetheart? We don't tax your tips? Yes, sir, Mr. President. Oh, you don't want to tax my tips? I'll vote for him. So it's a shiny object out there. But the girl can't live on because everybody not coming there with $20 tips. Somebody might buy little Riggins. They say 18%, I might only give you 10%. Hello. Especially on three. You have to keep calling back to the table to get it right. Right? So absolutely, then you walk away and you try to live off untaxed tips, but you have a second job. To make up for the untaxed, what you make on them tips, you need a second job because you got 3 babies in the house, you're a single mother, you got all kinds of stuff going on, and then Trump drops the bomb of 38% tax on that other job. You done ate up the tips in your tax on another job. Mm-hmm. Don't let the shiny objects, don't let the smooth taste fool you.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Pastor. I'm just putting stuff up as you talk about it.
Yes, sir. So let's even talk about all this even related to on Saturday. He wants to have a military parade. Why? Because he's seen China and Russia do it. And trying to blame it on, we never had a parade after the war. You didn't really believe you. World War II, y'all people were German people. You'd rather Hitler won anyway. Don't come to me with that lie. It's happened to be your birthday around the time, and you want to make your birthday party look like Putin having a birthday party. Guess what people are doing? They're protesting. He got on the news today about anybody protesting parade gonna come on them heavy. People protesting all over the country, and folk try to even make it. It's called Not My King Day, and some people try to celebrate Obama on that day.
Yeah, the point of it I agree with you. It's so much stuff that's going on.
Right. So much stuff going on.
I just want to put up some charts so we can kind of stay on track.
Yes, sir.
And everything that's up there, once again, you done already mentioned.
Right. But see, don't tax on Social Security, but we're going to cut your Social Security. We'll cut your Social Security, but we're not gonna tax it, but we're gonna cut it. We're gonna deny it to people like with pension plans like the post office. You won't get it, but those of you that do have it, we're not gonna tax it, but we're gonna cut it.
Even the tax on overtime,
switch and
Pastor.
bait. Or bait and switch, whatever way you put that. It's called bait and switch. Bait you in. No tax on Social Security. Oh, but we cut your Social Security.
But the greatest example of what you're talking about, Pastor, is the devil. Everything that's surrounded around this guy is confusion. The good book that these people say they believe in, it tells you that the devil is the author of confusion. So if you're not able and capable to discern what it is that you're seeing, then you're just as foolish as the person that's trying to implement all this stuff. Again, the devil's desires to sift you like wheat, and that's exactly what's taking place.
Yes, sir. And then he's taking it for Byron Glass, the deacon. I ain't even trying to preach it, but the deacon telling you that.
Well, those are the facts. Again,
yes, sir.
It would be one thing if and I was just looking where the Congress lady got indicted. But here's my problem: the same people that was talking about the federal government had an alt against this man, but now they're applauding the same federal government that they was talking about 6 months ago, a year ago. See, what I don't like about these people is the fact that they know what the truth is, and they still buying a lie, but they expect you to buy the lie with them. I refuse to do that.
Yes, I agree with you, Glass. And looking at this tax thing, everyone had a hidden agenda, even on the no tax on overtime. Yeah, there's no tax on the overtime that you work, but there's full tax on the regular time. So the little bit that you get for overtime, it's no tax on, but the regular hours that's included in that, it's still full tax.
And
so
they're
it's
going to increase
you
the
in
tax.
the sense to make you think that you get something, but you're not. The full tax, the overtime is the only thing that's not taxed, but no tips, no Social Security, no overtime. And the only thing that he did was the only thing that's kind of going back and forth is this thing called SALT, where they're taking the taxes, and they're reverting back to the extension from his era where he had extended. He lowered the tax bracket, and when he lowered the tax bracket, it was supposed to expire in December of this year. So the only thing that he's doing is kind of renewing that on the SALT, the tax cuts in American products. That's a wash.
Hey, Ron, only thing he doing is lying, just like the devil.
Absolutely, I'm not disputing that. The deduction for your car loans, he's only talking about the interest that's on those loans. So, it looks good, but the things that's in this list are the only things that's going to affect us.
But let me tell you
affect normal working people.
No, the SALT, but let me tell you, the SALT is the part I'm talking about, the rich people. That's SALT taxes for the rich people.
Yeah, I got that.
When he went to Mar-a-Lago and they had the big old party, that's what he gave them. And he want to renew it because it's about to expire. And to renew that, he have to take it from everybody else.
We got a listener out there that chimed in on it. Byron, go ahead and take this one because I'm looking for a chart.
Well, again, Ron, we put it out there. I just sent you some information. I just sent Pastor Riggins some information about the U.S. military. Again, for those, it's just a change in time. People, this guy has tapped into that anger that took place once we moved from segregation to integration. And there's a move of people that have always felt that too much has been given and too much complaining has taken place, and he's tapped into that anger, and that's why you see what you see now. Again, the 60s era is gone. This particular era is not going to tolerate what the forefathers tolerated. Nobody's promoting violence or anything like that. But at the end of the day, when the smoke clear and the dust settle, somebody's going to choose Malcolm's side, somebody's going to choose Martin's side. Chips fall where they make.
Let me tell you something else. Let's go back to when you talk about Los Angeles, let me talk about this. Do you remember when they had the Rodney King, the boy from Houston, 5 years ago? It's on his neck for 9 minutes. And
yeah, you talking about George Floyd.
George Floyd. George Floyd, Black Lives Matter riots and all this stuff. And people was pulling up in these black SUVs, like paramilitary, and actually starting the riots, instigating the riots. They were supposed to be working for the government, but they're coming there beating people and stuff going and all this. Me and the boy ran down there and shot that 17-year-old, shot somebody with a rifle and all that kind of stuff, and got off. But Trump went to the man that was over the military at that time, the Pentagon chief, who right now he stripped everything from him and the man committed treason.
Mark Milley.
Huh? Yeah.
General Mark Milley.
Mark Milley. What he got now with headset is somebody that's doing it for him.
Yeah.
They went to Los Angeles. They knew Los Angeles was a sanctuary city. They knew Karen Bass, who had been a congressman for California for many years, who put up bills against Trump stuff, voted against Trump stuff, and now the mayor of Los Angeles. They found a hot spot and went in with ICE, knowing if they went in with ICE, it was going to be protests. And because what Trump does is do stuff, they would have to go through the Supreme Court, take 4 or 5 years, and over 4 or 5 years, how many people die while they fight in the Supreme Court? Injunction after injunction, after this, over this. That's how he got off all them cases. That's why I say Merrick Garland was sorry. Went in, oh yeah, they went in. They should have Eric Holder. Eric Holder would have took him by the neck on the first month. So here's the deal. He went in to Los Angeles with you don't ever, Nixon was the last one to do this. Like Barron said, this is not the 60s though. In the 60s, Nixon did this. Took the National Guard and made them go fight in Kent State and different other places against their own people. American citizens. He took the National Guard. The National Guard laying out on the floors of businesses. They ain't got nowhere to even stay. But they're marching on the orders. But worse than that, take the Marines. The first one to show up for anything to defend America, have the Marines to go against their own people. Headset has now, as far as I'm concerned, by the Constitution, he's committed a felony. By following his orders, by following Trump orders. That's illegal.
Pastor, let me just say this.
Go ahead.
You know, it was a lot of, the riots were going on. I did a show earlier this week. It's a lot of homeless people that's in Los Angeles. I don't think this protest is as big as they let it on to be, but you got a lot of protests, a lot of homeless people that's out there that's making this thing bigger than what it is. And you're right. Trump should have never sent in the National Guards. He should have gave Gavin Newsom a chance to handle it. But Gavin Newsom actually took a little bit too long. And when it made national media, that gave Trump, he ain't gonna move unless he hit the media. They could have burned up all of Los Angeles, burned it off the map. But as soon as it started hitting these national media channels and they start seeing it, he got to run in there. He got to do this. Gavin Newsom has asked him, would you please just let me handle it? But we didn't deal with this. He mentioned George Floyd. When George Floyd was there, when Rodney King, they still have people on the police force that probably could deal with this and kind of keep it under control. But as soon as he started sending in the National Guard, that's when it exploded to a level that nobody else could handle. And it's not just the Hispanics now, it's part of the homeless population. And the homeless population in that great city with great weather and all the rest of that, it's great. I guarantee you if they was here in Texas, the homeless population wouldn't join in. They'd be seeking shelter.
The National Guard's call is by the governor. This man ain't got no damn business in LA. He ain't got no damn business in DC. He ain't got no business doing nothing that he's doing. When you're looking for trouble, you find it. What he's trying to do is go ahead on and incite so he can flip everything around and say, see, I told you so. Again, I don't give him no credit for nothing that he has done, nothing that he will do. At the end of the day, he's a threat to this world, in my opinion.
He is that, Glass, but I tell you what he is. He's a calculating person too, because Gavin Newsom. Wait, just hear me out. He's a calculating person too, because Gavin Newsom is supposed to be running for president too.
Yeah, but let me tell you something else.
This just gave him an opportunity to throw it up in his face. When he starts running, it just gives him an opportunity to say, he couldn't even handle California. I had to send in the National Guard. We all know that's a lie, but it's coming.
But I don't even think he's that calculating.
Well,
He's racist.
Riggins, remember
he's going against Karen Bass in Los Angeles about being a sanctuary. It's just so happening Gavin Newsom might be running for president. Trump is right. What he see right in front of him is what he want to do right there. Let's get hold of this brown and black city and squash it like he want to do Detroit, like he want to do Philadelphia, like he wants to do. Let Houston get started. He'll come to Houston next. Go ahead, Byron Glass. I'm sorry.
No. I was going to say the devil is calculated. The devil know how to pour gas on the flame. Or the devil can make a flame when one don't exist. What I'm saying is we all have a roadmap that we can follow. And this guy is the most inhumane person that we've ever seen in our lifetime. So I don't give him credit for nothing. He's not calculated. He's a fool.
Yeah,
I just think that and that's the reason why we have this show. See, we're not like national media. They all have to agree, sing and sync and all the rest of that. We can disagree to agree sometimes, but I just think it's a calculated move. It's a long-term move, and we have seen the Republicans play chess. I'm not saying it's a smart move, but I'm just saying you look at it destroys like 2 or 3. Karen Bass just happens to be caught up in there because she's a sanctuary city. And if any other sanctuary city did the same thing, he gonna use that as a tool to say, see, they let all them immigrants in. I have to go out there and clean it up. It's coming. It's just a matter of time.
But let me tell you what's happening. Remember what I told you about in April? He started to study in April, and what can he do in the month of June and July? He can declare what?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, martial law.
So
But
let enough of cities break out.
And that's the reason why you need to distinguish what's going on. Gavin Newsom was facing a homeless crisis before this even happened. And if you look at any of those streets that's in Los Angeles, they were full of homeless people that didn't have a place to go. And you combine that with what's going on the protesting side, that's a bomb waiting to happen. Because the homeless people don't have nowhere to go. Nothing to do.
Also, Ron, going back to what I was showing about tonight, it's all a big distraction. While all that's going on tonight, every night on the news, because it's vivid pictures of, tear gas and military in the streets and people out and screaming, they still back over there trying to get that bill passed. So we don't pay attention to all that.
You see?
Distraction.
Distraction for what's going on, what's really going on, how they can handle it.
The devil is a deceiver. And we got to be careful of the wiles, which means the taxes of the devil, going around seeking who he may devour, like a roaring lion.
Yeah, you just have. Sometimes I don't know who this is, but I appreciate your view. I told you one thing about it. If you come over here and we mentioned it earlier, you're gonna get a voice. If you want to clarify your statement, your comment that you made, please do it.
That's
right now. I'm just lost.
Like that. That's advertised or something like that. We ain't got time for that bull.
Oh, okay. See, I told you.
I
told you you're gonna get a voice, but you're gonna get corrected.
Yeah.
In national media, they got contracts. They got to follow certain guidelines. Over here, if we feel like something's wrong, we're gonna correct it right there, and we're gonna be able to handle it.
Right. We're not getting paid anything monetary to do this.
Thank you.
We're doing this because we care about our community. We want to impact our community, our city,
our
world.
You know what, Riggins? We don't have to explain nothing to nobody. Let's keep moving. Let's not get interrupted by some juke joint. That's the problem now. Everybody want to explain and apologize. We don't owe nobody an apology or nothing. We don't owe anybody why we doing what we're doing. If we choose to say it, then that's fine. But all this bull junk. Hey, look, I don't support the man. I'll never support the man. That ain't nobody gonna change that. There's nothing that he can do to make me change.
Yeah. I have to watch my conversation with other people and pray in my heart that I'm not thinking some evil things about what can happen to him. But I'm just telling you, it's only so much he can hang himself on a rope, and there's going to be a clash of something at some point.
Eventually, rules are gonna get him because. Like he's doing right now, these federal judges, he's protesting. They go out and they try to stop him, and he appeals it, and he continues to do what he's doing. But eventually, the rules are gonna catch up to him, and when they catch up to him, he's gonna be just like everybody else. He thinks that he can just run up to the Supreme Court, and as they run their appeal up to the Supreme Court, I mean, they already starting to descend against him. So,
but
it's just
again,
a matter of time.
Hey, Ron, but again, for the purposes of that big, beautiful bill, is a big, beautiful lie.
Yeah.
And if the representatives or whoever else that's out there didn't take the time to read it, at least the digest of it, some of them talking about, oh, they didn't even read it. So, but here it is again, Ron, the same ones who say they didn't read it, guess what? They'll get elected again and again and again.
Now I'm gonna do this real quick. Y'all allow me a leeway because this person I'm about to bring to the stage, she had to go back and explain it to her people that was in her district. She had to go back and try to explain it because they was asking, "What's in this deal?" Don't nobody know what's in this deal.
They didn't care.
Before I do that, I'm gonna get this comment on the stage and then I'm gonna bring her up.
Brian, that's a pastor, a friend of mine, or my son in the ministry, and he's saying the whole administration is a lie.
See?
And this young man has been with me since 2007. Came up as a member, a deacon, became a minister. Now he's a pastor of a congregation that's a congregation that's a multicultural congregation. But he's saying what the truth is: the whole administration is a lie. And the reason why is based on a lie. I don't believe Trump won the election legally. But we've already had a show about it, and it might just with Wildfoot all come out for the details.
No,
I don't believe he won it legally.
I'm glad that you brought that up because I've been hearing some rumors about them having. They've been doing. I want to bring it up, but I was going to bring it up a little bit later at another show. But I've been hearing some rumors that might be true. You might be on to something.
Let me tell you why. You can't have an election in 2020 and have less people vote in 2024, and 2020 was a COVID. You can't have an election where, hundreds of thousands of people are shaved off the voting rolls or taken out of the machines. If a man could make a car drive by itself, Tesla drives by itself on the freeway, and he was involved in it, anything can happen to the voting machines.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm going to get on Biden again, Byron Glass.
Here we go, Pastor. This is one of yours. I'm going to let you take this one.
But I'm going to get on him when I think it's right. But Biden was sleeping at the wheel during the election. That's why Kamala Harris waited a long time before she conceded, and I don't think she's too happy with him because they should have came out all force. What Trump wanted to do in 2020 should have happened in 2024. A full investigation of that election before she conceded.
But AF, I have to go back to Mr. Spike's side now.
Go ahead.
Had the opposing side not tried to rig the election by selecting somebody rather than going through the vetting process of letting individuals choose. So, Ron, you always said we can't blame the others without blaming this.
Yo, Biden lied by running again. But you see what Brian says? He works for the post office.
Exactly.
What they're doing right now, in this big, beautiful bill, they're going to take away their benefits that they've been working for the post office for 30-some years. Take away their benefits when they retire.
Riggins, you're a history teacher. There has never been a period in time where everything flowed from the top to the bottom. It has always flowed from the bottom up. So if you're cutting at the bottom, eventually, let's bring this home, Riggins. If you got somebody that's in a neighborhood and you take away from them, eventually they go into the other neighborhood to take away from them. So the more you continue to take away from the bottom, you're not correcting the problem. You're just creating a greater problem.
Yeah. Yes,
sir. See, I agree with you, Glass, because what happens, I mean, we did a show on the prison system and how they get people into the prison system. If you take it away, they're gonna have to still feed their kids somehow. And eventually, if they fall, if it starts falling apart, they still win. Because now, as Glass was saying last night, I think it was last night or the night before, he was saying, you can leave and then 6 months come back out of the prison system and the whole world will change. Because it's not like it used to be. So you got to play catch up. And then playing catch up, you're going to still be behind. Now you got a criminal record that you got to deal with. You're going out there trying to get into the job force and all the rest of that. This all ties back to this big, beautiful bill that you're looking at. You're taking everything away from people, and they don't have anything. But I want to do this before we get off the air because I want to show you that not only are we the ones on this stage, but everybody else, somebody else is their constituents. Say it, Glass, for me. Their constituents are confused too.
Oh, yeah,
Now,
Ron,
what it is that concerns them the most.
Hold on.
The number one question.
Go ahead, Glass.
No. Go ahead and finish.
No, I'm gonna let you do it.
Well, no. I mean, what purpose is she really serving?
I understand, but I'm using her as a tool to prove a point.
Yeah, I'm not debating that.
Yeah. That's all I want to use it for, as a tool, just to hear this part.
And I had is, do people understand why this bill is bad and why there is nothing beautiful in it? And I can tell you that Texas 30, God bless them, because they listen to real news and they absolutely understand that these cuts are devastating and there is no good reason for the cuts. So that's number one. Number two, I think that the Republican Party has tried to run away from Elon Musk for sure, but Elon Musk still looms. And so there were definitely still questions about.
I just wanted to get the point that everybody out there is confused about this big, beautiful bill and the things that Pastor Riggins was saying tonight. I hope that he enlightened you. I hope that he gave you some direction. And most of all, whatever we put on this air, we always encourage you to go out and do your own research. Just don't take our word for it. And we done ran over, and I didn't even know we had ran over. Glass,
that's
He's only 811. He's only 811.
Yeah, but no, we're not about to log off. We're talking about from Instagram. Ron, if you can post that info that I just sent you relative to LA, where the military can't go against its own citizens or whatever. Because see, I think it's important that people, even if they don't act on it, that they know about it. You might not be able to. It's passe committed. I can't pronounce the Latin term, but at the end of the day, my point is, our goal is to enlighten and inform. Everybody think that certain things are happening or that they're supposed to happen, but that's not necessarily the case. So what we do is go brick by brick. Pastor Riggins, you used to say book, chapter, verse. I think is what it was.
Book by book.
Yeah, book by book.
Chapter, yes, verse by verse.
That's what I'm talking about. And hey, Ron, what we doing is we going whatever, by whatever, to whatever. So at the end of the day, again, the goal is to enlighten and inform. But I think everybody needs to at least pick up the phone, maybe call in to their local congressman, their local senator, and try to find out if they supported the bill. Why did they support the bill? Find out the rationale. And if you are going to be affected or if you're going to be impacted, then you need to let them know. Because, Ron, I know a lot of people that I represent myself personally. Those SNAP benefits is going to hurt them. And I was telling somebody today, Riggins, there's absolutely no difference between a SNAP benefit, Social Security, and a farmer getting a subsidized loan. Talk to me, Riggins.
Right, and so this is what happens. It all started with what we call the Great Deal, or back under Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Right.
Farmers getting subsidized loans or getting paid not to put your food on the market. Come on, Nebraska, Iowa, Idaho, all those different states. But let me go down deep into it. Anglo-American farmers getting their fair share. African-American farmers, a lot of times, getting cut out the pie.
Exactly. And that's the goal.
That's the whole goal. And so but the same way you can spend the money to subsidize farmers, subsidize big oil companies. That's why that's one of the reasons why Elon Musk and Trump going at it too. Once they fell out with each other, Elon Musk lost all his money with his electric vehicles, acting a fool with Trump, and all around the world they quit buying his stuff. But then he wanted Trump to quit subsidizing these oil companies because why? They're working against Elon Musk's interest of electric car versus what? Gasoline car. But you want to subsidize rich folk, subsidize oil companies, subsidize things that you want, but at the same time, here's the poor family out there that need subsidies to make it. Well, let them quit having babies. No. You don't want you don't want abortion, which I'm not promoting abortion. When you encourage the Anglo-American people, we need more babies. Why they want more babies? Because they want more babies to have more people to vote. But why the black people and white and brown people having all them babies? That's why we're gonna take away their stuff. They can quit having them babies because they want less people of color having babies and more. I go all the way in. Want more Anglo-Americans having babies.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get you guys to keep on talking. I know I could go, but I'm trying to get this up for Glass in the background. So just keep it moving so Glass, so I can get
I'm saying something else, guys. As we talk about the next generation and we putting all the information out there, I look across here, myself in my mid-50s, Byron Glass in mid-50s, Ron, I know you're a little bit older than us. We're considered the OGs. We're considered the old school. We're considered now those of us, in other words, we're trying to pass on information back to the generation, Gen Zs and millenniums that they really don't even want to hear, a lot of them, or don't understand how to connect the dots. Whatever they hear come up on TikTok, whatever they hear come on Instagram, to them that's the gospel truth. And we got the deep down experience. Like I told you, I lived through integration, right out of segregation. I lived through integration, right out of segregation. I lived through blatant racism. Walk into the office. We will not hire you here because you're a black man with a degree. You will not make ice cream in the back because you're too smart, and we're not going to have it in the front because we don't have nobody black in the front. Have a nice day. Blue Bell ice cream, thank you. We will not at Texas A&M go down to the minority hiring office. Go down there first. Put your application in and resume. They stamp it before they send it over to the main place.
Wow,
so guess
that's
what?
crazy.
Yeah, I went through that. So the quota is we need to hire 3 blacks this month. Well, hey, he number 4. We ain't hiring him. See you next year, brother.
Yeah.
I know over exaggerate how it happens, but I actually was going down there and stamp it every time. I already knew it. In other words, I'm telling you up front, I'm a black man applying. When you look, so that's crazy. You're not going off my merit. You're going off first of all my color before my merit.
And that's just, Pastor, as I listen to you talk, one of the things I'll say is it's amazing how people, young people, they forget where they came from. And I just got Glass thing up, so I'm gonna give it back to you. Young people forget how far we have went, how far the stuff that we went through as people. And when we get here, we're gonna fight for what we believe is right. So I just want to tell you that Glass, I'm gonna let you get this in, and then I'm gonna come back and say something.
Yeah,
and then I'm
just real simple, Ron. Again, enlightened and informed. I just want, even if you go back and look at the archives, just read it, look at it, and make sure you understand what's going on. So when somebody come and try to tell you that this stuff that's going on is right, you can always have another version that say, well, no, that version that you're coming from is not what I'm looking at. Because you always need to have your side of the story to be able to debate a good conversation. But it tells you, factually, it tells you exactly what is and what's not. So you can take it down, Run, as long as they be able to go and look at it themselves.
The important part of it is read the top part of it, and Pastor, I'm gonna let you get that because the posse, I can't get past it.
Yeah, it's a United States federal law that says in June 18, 1878, House bill passed, that Congress passed that our military cannot be used up against our citizens. So whenever he federalized the National Guard, he's using the military against our citizens.
Exactly.
When the Marines came in, Brian Brown himself is a Marine, a veteran of the Marines. The guy that came on earlier that put his comments up there. You cannot be using the Marines against our own citizens. Like I said, Headset, whatever his name is, and Trump both are actually violating law. They are breaking the law. That's a federal crime. But will Bundy arrest them? No.
Right. So Riggins, here's the same thing that Ron and I have been talking about. If this man has got this much power, Ron, why didn't Biden, Bush, Obama, Clinton, Why didn't they all use the same powers and authorities that this guy's exercising? So obviously, somebody's not telling the truth.
That's what got me. That's what got me in trouble today. Was when you ask hard questions like Byron just asked. When you ask hard questions and you got people over there, this gets me. I'm gonna tell you what irked me more. You got a young lady over there. I know she wasn't that old, but you don't have to cuss to make your points. I can understand if you emphasizing something, and we have done that too. But every other word or every sentence, everything that she said, she had a cuss word on it. And I was like, wait a minute, who are you talking to? Because really ain't nobody listening to you, because once a normal person that would have been of age would have turned off the radio, a person that was younger than you, I don't even know if they could follow you. So what were you trying to accomplish? And you got a national media show, and you're trying to reach the people. You almost like the people that's in office, that's in the Democratic Party. They don't know which way to go, up or down, sideways or left. None of them want to step up. Schumer. None of them want to step up. Hakeem Jeffries. None of them want to step up. They want to sit in the background and wait and wait and wait. And you know what, Pastor, I'm gonna tell you where I want to see. As we get close, as we go past these midterm elections, I want to see how many of them step up and talk about running for president.
Well, Spikes, again, I think I've said this almost every podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't do something by 2026, what I said, Ron, it's over.
It's coming.
Yeah, see the whites
right.
See what Brian Brown saying, the whites right. That's
right.
Nixon.
Yeah.
Nixon did that. But like you're saying, when they had the insurrection at the Capitol, Trump didn't get the national guard. Why? Because they were insurrecting for him. He's the insurrectionist. He the one who committed treason. He committed Mark Milley committed treason.
Glass.
He committed treason.
Yeah.
Trump committed treason.
And Riggins, the thing about it is, they were committing a crime. They got pardoned. These people are not committing a crime. They got the military against them. Something's not right with that.
Right, but that's what's answer the question what you just said. Why did Obama, Clinton, and the Bushes not use it? Because whether we agree with their policies or not, they were not evil people.
So I got something else to ask you.
They were not. Their hearts was in the right place. Even if we don't agree with their policies and how they went about doing things, to their core, as a human being, they believe in trying to do what's right for whatever they stood for. This illegitimate, as I'm gonna always call him, felon, is a criminal and he's evil. So he's abusing the power that's in his hand. Yeah, Obama could have done that. Obama could have. Everybody said we want our country back. We're gonna march against Obama. He could have sent the police and he could have pulled up the military. It'd have been wrong, but he had the power to do it. But he didn't want to do wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. All of them had the power to do this stuff, or could abuse the power. It went to court and all that kind of stuff. Just like eventually this stuff gonna go to court against Trump. But it could have been dragged out for 3 or 4 or 5 years. People could have talked about him and everything, but their hearts was in the right place not to do this kind of stuff. That's what I mean.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, and see, my biggest thing with this, and I'm going to say it right now, and Glass know exactly where I'm going. When Pitts was standing up there and he did what he did, or they was trying to stop him from doing that take that action to bypass the laws of the Constitution.
Yeah.
We didn't have Biden and Harris in office for 4 years. Have you heard them mention about trying to change that?
Mr. Spice. Now you going off into
no.
So I'm just gonna tell you, if you haven't heard them mention that, and they know that was part of the Constitution, you ain't heard nobody say nothing about that. What started the insurrection? What got it started? When Pitts did the right thing. Don't get me wrong. But they should have implemented something to stop it, where it wouldn't have got to that point, where it wasn't the option that was put on the table.
Right. Here's what I'm saying. They, after they had tried to pass some type of election law about the count, but it was nibbling at the edges. They didn't get to the core of it. They passed some kind of election law about the count, and said that, you know, on that day, it's got to be counted a certain way, and all that kind of stuff. But they didn't go to the core of the problem. The core of the problem was they should have dealt with the Electoral College and how you deal with the Electoral College. And nobody has the stamina. Nobody has the courage. Some people don't even have the sense. Man, a lot of people there voted to congressman. They lawyers on paper and all that kind of stuff. They work good in their community, but half of them don't have a sense that you and I have.
Absolutely.
We went down to go work at Congress. All we need is a good little staff with us, and we could turn that place inside out, upside down. They won't want to hear it though.
Let me just say this.
Like Al Green from Houston. I like him as a person. But man, you should have organized. Don't just get up hollering and screaming. You should have organized.
Pastor, I'm laughing because here's the thing. When he did it, and I'm going to say it again, when he did it, and they was escorting him out, I ain't seen none of his compadres, his fellows, people get up and walk out with him. You know, that would have made a statement.
Yeah.
But nobody did it. I mean, he was left out there by himself. It's almost like everything else is going on in this Congress. It's almost like me today. They left me out there by myself and told me on national media I was a lie because I was challenging them and sending them in a direction that they weren't prepared for. He wanted to promote his book more than he wanted to talk about what his show was about. Anyway, I'm going to do D. And I'm gonna give it back to Glass or you, whichever one. Oh my God! Please stop. He will be in office. He will be in office for 4 years, and there's nothing that we can do. We know that, D. We know that, but that's pain. It's turning into pure pain, especially from your state, D. Those people are from your state that they call the National Guard on. So, hey guys.
I understand her point of view that maybe she's saying, hey, you know, we're out here making a lot of noise about it verbally, but it's something we can't do about it.
Baz, I'm glad that you touching it because I was going to touch it, but I don't want to.
I'm touching diplomatically.
Yeah.
What we're going to do about it, we're trying to get people to overturn the houses in 2026 with the right checks and balances through blocking out everything. That's why he tried to put everything in the big beautiful bill, because he knows if once he loses the House and the Senate, he's a stalemate president. But more than that, can we then have the courage of Keem Jeffers, have the courage? Chuck Schumer needs to go sit down, just like Nancy Pelosi.
And see,
somebody go sit down. But,
absolutely. I agree with you.
That's part of the whole problem with the political system. They think I'm old granddaddy. I've been here a long time. I pay my dues until I go almost what's the word? Whenever they're about to lose their mind, senile.
Give them some Geritol.
I'm gonna stay here and hold on to the gavel. You're not really loving your country. You're loving your power and your position. Go sit yourself down. But anyway, I got off the point. If they can get in there and begin to make some moves, we then set him up to hang himself, or just like he did once in 2018 when they took over, which pushed into 2020, and then it was all out war between him and the Congress, what led to his demise in those last 2 years. And so, you know, and I'm gonna put it this way. Well, I guess you say she's over it because also we can't stop the fact that we feel like he's been elected illegally. But let me tell you something. There are forces out there. There are forces out there that I believe when they've had enough. Come here, John F. Kennedy. When they had enough.
Well, let me clarify that.
Come here, Abraham Lincoln. When they had enough.
Encouraging anybody to come up with a
I'm
plan.
not encouraging nobody to do nothing.
They tried it once before and it didn't work.
I'm talking about history.
And he held up his fist. And I think that's part of the reason why he's in office right now.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you something. And see this is where I need everybody to understand. I'm gonna get close to the camera glass because I'm gonna say this where they can understand it. See, when you go to those other media channels, they're not talking about it or breaking it down like we're doing it. They don't take the time to help you understand. They're about selling books. They're about doing their own thing. They're going to try to steer you in a direction. If they got a function that's coming up or something that they want you to attend, they want to get you there. Or somebody, one of their buddies got something. We don't have no golf carts around here. I know I don't have no golf carts. I don't know about these other gentlemen. They might have a couple of golf carts in their garage. They might even have a couple of roses sitting around. We don't have that here. We're trying to educate our people on the ground level like everybody else. You in the national media, y'all need to wake up, because people are asking you for information and you're not giving it. You double talking. You double talking. You're not going to survive. I'm done, y'all. I'm moving back.
I got a LinkedIn comment from somebody listening, says that although he will be in office for 4 years, we have to organize our communities to flip Republican representatives as senators. We have to figure out how to promote, build, educate our communities. We've done it before in Reconstruction. We can do it again. See, and that's where I want to go. If Malcolm, Martin, Mandela, and all of those would have just gave up, where would we be right now? And I understand exactly what it is that she's saying, and what she's saying is truth. But outside of that, you can't get tired. You can't give up. You can't give in, because this fight that we have is until we take the last breath. The reason why I can't and I refuse to give up is because I got 2 daughters, and I'll be damned if my 2 daughters' life will end up being worse than mine was. Mine was a little bit better than my mother, but I've always promised her, I can't afford to go through what you went through. I know what freedom feels like, Ron. I'm not trying to have no shackles on my feet. I'm not trying to have somebody to muzzle what I can and can't say. So at the end of the day, if it come to that, you might well take me home from earth.
Let me say something else. Ron, you talked about they double talking and they selling stuff. You remind me of the Christmas Story, the movie called The Christmas Story that comes on TBS every year. The little boy wants the Red Ryder BB gun. So
Ron, hold on, Riggins, before you go any further, Ron, post the call-in number. Tracy, if you out there. I forgot. Thank you, Glass. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you to call in just briefly. And Tracy, 832-856-5964. Call in and just elaborate a little bit more on the conversation. Your comment, if you can. If you don't mind, if you don't, that's fine.
Let me cut off my music.
While we're waiting for them to call in, on that little story, the Christmas Story, the guy rush homes every day with a little secret decoder, trying to figure out what the big answer to the question gonna be. When he finally gets all the thing out, it says, "Don't forget to drink your over tea." He said, "Oh, it's just an advertisement." He thought he was gonna really win something. When it's all said and done on the main media, sometimes it's all just one big advertisement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One big advertisement is never really getting down to the truth. And we're trying to get down to the truth.
I know my guy, my Atlanta connection is out there. I know my Baton Rouge connection is out there. If you don't mind, call in 832-856-5964. If you don't mind, if you do, that's fine. If Dale Summers is out there, Dale, I know you'll call in and give us some information.
Call in, Dale, please.
We like feedback. So Tracy, if you're out there and you feel like calling in, call in. If you don't, I won't get mad. I won't get upset. Anybody else that's out there that wanna? She said I'm a little too shy for the call in. Appreciate it, Tracy. If you can just always send me your text message. She just started listening tonight. This is one of my old friend from way back in 98, 2000 that does basically some of the same work that I do. Very intelligent, very vocal, very diplomatic, easygoing. I think we got some other listeners that's out there. I don't know if they want to be.
Hey, D, I'm gonna tell you something. D, I need to test my line. Call in, D. I need to test my line, D. Call in. Nobody's calling in, Glass. I got that number for a purpose.
Make sure the line is right. Make sure the line is clear.
Huh?
Make sure the line is clear.
It's clear. I'm holding the phone in my hand. If anybody wants to call in, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're out there listening, I guarantee you we ain't gonna do you like national media. We We're not gonna do that.
Call in, brother. Brian, if you're still watching, call in.
D, I asked you to call in. Don't comment. Just call in. I just want you. Let me get this off of here so y'all can get the number. Okay, we got the number. We got the number exposed. We're not like national media. We're not experts here, but we love getting your opinion. This is taking us back to our Blog Talk days. When we used to go on Blog Talk and y'all would call in and we'd have you waiting, then we'd bring you up and stuff like that.
Remember Citizen X?
I even take Citizen X tonight, be honest with you.
Citizen X, man, he was a ringer. He was put in there.
Hey,
y'all don't know about
got a comment say it's hard to know what. Well, it's hard to call in and let me see. I can't read this. It's hard to know what to call in about. Okay, it's hard to know what to call in about.
Hold on.
In and everything you want to talk about. If you got something that's going on, a topic that you want to talk about, something that may be bothering your mind, feel free to call in. Again, we're not trying to force about it.
D.
Spikes, we don't want to force it about it because you know it.
No, she on the line.
I think she called.
Okay.
Hey D, can you hear me?
We can't hear D though.
I know. I'm trying. She called in. Oh, this says it's a scam lately. I'm scared to answer this.
No, I got Brian calling in.
Let me try this. Hello?
Okay.
Hello, caller. Can you hear us? Hello, caller.
This is Citizen X.
Maybe it's this.
No, I text Brian and told him to give a call.
Okay, I hung up the line, Pastor. If he calling in, I'm gonna make sure I get him. That could have been Citizen X. You're right, Glass.
Citizen X.
Dave Lamont. Aaron Hopkins.
He said just ring. He said the phone just rings and rings.
Wow. Okay.
Try again, Brian.
I got it up. Yeah, try one more time. Because D was on the line probably at that time. No, I got it up. Somebody, I hear some talking in the background. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna move on with the show. We almost over time, but we're gonna test this line again.
I hear it ringing.
Huh?
I heard it ringing.
Oh, I heard Byron.
That's me calling in.
Hey, Byron. You
Yes,
talking
sir.
to us on the telephone, so we know it works.
No, I'm not. You hadn't answered yet.
You not answering. See what I'm saying? It rings and rings. It ain't coming to you. So it's a technical problem.
Okay, let's call it technical problems. I'll get it worked out next week. I heard
LeBron said just rings and rings and rings.
Okay.
Positive D said, where's Citizen X? Look, Positive D, we think Citizen X was during that time of the 2016 election. There were a lot of people that were called, what were they called? Bots. That the Russian government and other people had planted in the political discourse and system. And man, every time we had a Blog Talk radio show, Citizen X came up on that. Citizen X was going like he was really on the outside, saying all kind of good stuff. Whatever we say, he was echoing, adding to it and stuff. But we believe that he was, because when by the end of the whole election, what was the name of that thing?
Hey, Pastor.
Britannica, whatever, who was working for Trump out of England. He had classified me as a politician. George Nelson classified that went on our Facebook page and classified us as politicians. They were actually trying to infiltrate our whole system to try to see, sway people different ways. And then another guy, he came on and used to come out of Baton Rouge. Remember that argue with us, Byron? Remember that guy? Mm-hmm. And he used to come on and argue so up and down, and he was a plant.
The smoking glass hour was always hot.
It was always hot.
Yeah. Always hot. Thanks to Mr. Spikes and his Blog Talk USA.
Blog Talk USA, yeah. Pigos was engineered. Remember she was Miss Pigos?
Ron, what was she at?
she's got some responsibilities that she's
Okay.
taking care of, and you know, when she was able to do that, her kids was a lot younger. Now her kids are older. She has taking on some more responsibilities.
Because remember, Ron, we were doing podcasts before Roller Mark Club, Shay, and anybody else. We were doing this back in 2010?
Yeah, no, 2012 we started, 2013, something like that.
2012, 2013. So you're looking at 13 years now. Had we utilized and monetized, this, where would we be? But we always looked at it as if money was not the issue. It was to enlighten and inform, and Ron, the preface of everything was what if we can just get one. If we can just make a difference with one person. Hopefully tonight, Riggins talking about this big beautiful bill. I advise anybody that's out there listening may go back and listen to the archives to go and read it themselves. What is it? 1,200 pages. You don't have to read the full 1,200 pages, but look here, Ron Riggins. You know that on certain cell phones you can press the little directory and it'll read to you, so you can.
And also you can. Also, Glass, you can go out there and catch a couple of YouTube videos where they break it down for you, and you can read a little bit, go out there and re-verify it on one of those YouTube videos out there, and you can go from there. But don't sit back and just be fooled by what's going on. So understand what's happening in this world. And
we're not just telling you something.
Yeah, we're not getting on here like now. I'm gonna use this till I get it out of my mind. We're not coming on here like national media. The national media had a time that they would have been out of here. We're a little bit over. We can run over on our time, but we ain't gonna be here too much longer because I can look at my co-host's face and he's saying, "Hey, Ron, it's about time for us to go."
No, I wish my good intelligent tech guy. I wish we had it because he makes a lot of valid points, especially when he messaged me.
Don't worry, I'm getting ready to solve this, Glass. Hold on.
But we still not worried about that because that ain't gonna stop the show.
I know you're not, but I'm fixing to do something to you.
Okay.
And I'm fixing to send it to Riggins too. I'm gonna send it to you first, and one monkey don't stop a show, and that's the one thing that I like about this. We have other ways to get them on the air, Glass. Just send them that link and tell them to come on.
Brian says, when he tried to call in, he says, not available. He said, Trump cut your line.
They probably did. It wasn't surprising. We are not surprised by anything that goes on.
But that can't be true because when I call in, it goes to the Google Voice and then they'll connect you. Okay.
I don't know. He was clowning, man.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna send this link out right now. Riggins, you got the link. If anybody want to come on, I'm gonna send it to him.
Send it to me.
But see, Ron, I think that may be, some people may be afraid to come on and show their face.
They don't have to show their face. The only thing they have to do is come on, and we'll keep them off the air. They don't have to say nothing. D, you got the link, so just come in if you want to.
They can talk without seeing their face.
Yeah, D, just come in if you want to. Yeah. Just use your link that I sent you, because you're in the list. John, if you're out there, just use your link and come in. I don't have to bring your face up.
Yeah, I send it to Brian Bryant. Yeah. He's this young man, a couple of years younger than us, Byron. He's really sincere about getting involved in the community in different ways, like I have, and so this is a good training ground for him to get involved too. Yeah.
Well, Riggins, what I'm gonna do is urge the man to consider running for local election.
I know you always do that.
Yeah, I mean, we need.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Now let me tell you something. Me and Glass did a show, and he might not like me saying this, but this dude here, he said, Ron, I gotta catch some daylight because they got Bible studies. What is it? Bible studies starting this week. He said, I want to get the grass cut at the church. Now that's some effort there. He's modest. He don't like hearing that. He didn't know I was gonna bring it up. But that's the kind of stuff that you do. National media radio. You don't promote your book. I'm done. I'm gonna let that go.
Hey.
It's called the Urban View.
Yeah. What show did you go on today on Urban View?
I don't know.
There's several shows on there.
I don't
Karen
know.
Hunter come on from 2 to 5.
I was on like
You saw the one before that. It's a new one probably.
1:30 or something like that.
Yeah, it's a new lady that's on there. A younger lady than Karen Hunter. Go check out Karen Hunter, man. She deep in the game.
Yeah. Now wait a minute. I'm glad you brought that up because I listened to Karen Hunter on the Urban View, and I was satisfied because I was listening to her on my way, and I said this lady is totally different, and she was taking calls and she was just moving through the system. I don't know what's wrong with young people. I don't know. The person that was on before them.
Is the truth. She's a woman that's 6'8". Could be a basketball player. Has many books out already. Mm-hmm. She wanted to try to push on having the party of Lincoln. Since Republicans originally African Americans were Republicans in the past, and if we're gonna fight against the Republican Party and have to get outside the Democratic Party, start your own party to bring down the Republican Party.
And when I went in and looked at their website, they're diverse, and that's one of the things that we cover. We cover diversity, and we always have been that way. Glass hasn't said it in a while, but Glass, I want you to tell them what our goal is here. We're black, and we talk a lot of black issues, but we're diverse.
Right. We have had, and we'll continue to have, in everybody on. We've had, politicians, individuals running for judge's office, state senators, United States senators. We had David Vitter on. We had individuals running for DA. We had individuals running for judge's office. And it's been a collection of different nationalities. Whoever's got enough courage to come on and face what we talk about. That's what we do. We bring them on. We allow them to come on and have a just and balanced conversation. Again, my thing is we hear people complain that they don't have a voice. They don't have the opportunity to talk. We provide that platform, and that was one of the reasons why we provided that platform. We used to do real people, real life, real answers. A.F. Riggins would be quizzed every Tuesday night for 2 hours about biblical verses, biblical chapters. We went through the entire book of Revelations, if I'm not mistaken, A.F. Riggins. We went from, we tried to go from beginning to end. So we had a combination of all walks of life. We're looking at now about 8:51.
Dick Gregory came on one night?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we had Dick Gregory on, the late Dick Gregory.
Man,
he enlightened us a lot, but we're just small. When you hear about us, you see us now, you just think we're just out here kicking buckets, kicking cans down the street like the Democrats. We're just picking a can to kick down the street.
Hey, Ron, the only difference is I'm a lit grill and I'm losing the top of my hair, but that don't stop the heart, because the heart is still gonna do what it's supposed to do.
Man, hey, I'll hold up the baby face for y'all.
Hey, Riggins, well, we can let you fool yourself on that if you want to.
Because your hair kind of black there, Pastor.
Yeah. That's what I said. No, this is man, my grandfather, neither one of my grandfathers, my dad's side, he finally started getting gray.
Okay.
I remember my mom's dad was a Creole. He never went gray.
Well,
you got good genes. You got good genes.
Well, what we'll say is this then. Ron and I can say we too old of a cat to be called a kitten. We just have to call you a kitten because you ain't no cat.
Oh, no. Don't let the smooth taste fool you.
All right, we're past the show, y'all. We just killing time. And I hope you enjoyed this, because we enjoyed this part of it. And we get to talk every once in a while. Y'all see us when we're serious. But when we get toward the end of the show, man, we just relax and have fun.
Yeah.
And Pastor Riggins he's not writing a book.
No, I'm not writing, not yet.
Glass, are you writing a book?
Huh?
Are you writing a book?
Oh, hey, brother, I got one out that I wrote on being a public servant in a small town fishbowl, little paperback book. I'm in the process now of going through, got a lady that I've talked with from Baltimore, Maryland, who is interested in, doing it. They're doing like a little docuseries now a couple of weeks ago when we did that. But, I don't like, dealing with, all these titles and, all this attention, and I don't like that. So I think everybody's got a story to tell. They just have to be willing to tell it. But on being a public servant in a small town fishbowl. As a matter of fact, hold on just a second.
Hello? Mr. Sean Tolliver, are you out there? Sean Tolliver.
See,
Can
Ron,
you hear me?
Ron. See, I always bring back paperbacks, bro.
Receipts.
I have receipts. You see, hey Riggins.
I see you.
I have receipts, man. You know, I wanted to do this while my mom was living.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Man, you know, Ron, I always tell this story, man. I saw Byron Glass when I was in college, didn't know his name. All I knew is he had a big group of people that took over the NAACP after I got it founded, because I didn't live in Monroe. I just came to Monroe like King. I was just passing through, you know, for 4 years, but I was stirring up something. I'm like, we don't have an NAACP chapter, because I never faced the racism in the Southwest Louisiana that I faced when I came up to Monroe. And I stood up there in the cold and rain, got 50 people signed up. I'm talking about you have to have hard cash money and checks. I don't even know how I've done that. Thinking about it now, how we got Zelle and Cash App and all that. I don't know how I've done that. And got the money down to Atlanta, Georgia, and got the charter. And man, the first meeting happened about 30 days later. I walked up into that meeting room. There's about 200 some people in there.
That's AF Riggins.
And Byron Glass was running the meeting, and they didn't even know. I was like John the Baptist. Like nobody knew who I was. I don't want to get started. I stayed in the meeting about 30 minutes and left.
That's OAL.
And it wasn't until 2010. I'm trying to get in the horse game. And the guy down here say, "Man, look here. Can you get a trailer?" I was renting a trailer too. A trailer to bring a horse up to Columbia, Louisiana for a guy that was buying it offline.
Yes, sir.
And it was Byron Glass.
It was me,
man.
Mr.
I know you.
And we've been solid. We've been solid ever since.
That is amazing. That is so amazing.
That's a God thing, man.
Hey, I got another message that say I get the Google Voice intro and it tries to connect. So, a caller, what I'm gonna say is this: I can promise you that when Mr. Spice get off,
it's gonna be fixed.
This broadcast, he ain't going to bed until it's fixed. Now,
you know me.
You talking about a tech geek. Now, what I'm gonna be doing is going to get that this little hors d'oeuvre that I get and send him a picture of it to make it mad.
Everybody, it's time to get out of here. We on a different time schedule. Glass don't have a tie to pull off tonight. He would have gave us, that would have been a sign that it's time to go.
What tie?
I had to
look here. You can't wear a tie with this. Look at this. Take that banner down so you can see this. You can't wear. It's already fussing enough.
Riggins,
this thing like a whole tie.
It's Versace. It's two things that people know, Ron, from the political standpoint. If I come like this, I'm probably just gonna be mild.
We ain't gonna be there long.
Yeah, but if I have a shirt tie on, they know we're going to war. But if I got the bow tie on, that's just me casual every day. So I had to get a little loose because my neck, I don't know if y'all keep, it's been bothering me, man. I'm getting old. Hey, Riggins, the bones just kind of working with me, man. These aches and pains. But I'm gonna still be boxing. I'm gonna still get in the boxing.
Here we go.
Here you go,
Pastor
man.
Riggins.
I got
go ahead and get us out of here. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say and get us out of here.
Riggins, you know how we close.
I know we're closing. Hey guys, tonight we're glad to be able to conversate and even have a good time together with my brothers, Ron Spice and Byron Glass, Two Gents, and Mike, and AF Riggins. We are really sincere about impacting our community, our city, and our world. We only do this by the grace of God and through the power of His Spirit. Because if He does not empower us and give us the anointing, see, we think the anointing is just about a Sunday morning service or Wednesday night Bible study, but the anointing is about us having dominion, the power to work in the supernatural, to work in things we can't see, to produce our purpose in the natural. And our purpose in the natural is to take our community through what we're going through. We're not going to get out of it. We got to go through it to a better place. And so we pray, Father, we thank you for the opportunity to be able to share things that are positive, things that are enlightening, things that are informational, things that are inspiring, that we can empower our people and impact our community, our city, and our world. We leave this platform and not your presence. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Now I'm going to say thank God, thank God, thank God. We got the deuce sign that's out, and I hope y'all enjoyed this show. And I'm gonna be working on this telephone. We're gonna get that handled.
Hey,
And
Ron.
even if I don't get it handled that way, I'm gonna get it handled another way. Go ahead, Glass.
Yeah, for the next couple of hours or so, if you work on it and you need somebody to call and try it out, just text me and let me know, and I'll call. That way we can kind of go and get it fixed up. But again, we appreciate everybody listening in, tune in, tell a neighbor, tell a friend that we are live broadcasting every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Two Gents on the mic, and feel free to always call in. Feel free to encourage us, even if you disagree. Give us a little handshake, a little pat on the back to let us know that, I may not agree with y'all, but at least you got enough courage and conviction to get out there and try to make a difference. And that's all we do, try to enlighten and inform. Love, peace, and soul.
That's it. We out. We're out.